and always start with your highest price first.
Yeah.
Don't go to the lowest price because that's what you're comfortable with. Don't go to that lowest value because that's what you think you're worth starting with.
Okay.
You know, because if you start at a low price, it's very hard to increase that, because then it you know, it makes people think, hang on a minute, you were charging that and now you're charging this, and they don't understand the value difference in that. So it's very hard to go back. And if you start building your brand around low pricing, then you're getting into a price war with other coaches. The minute you make it about money, the minute you make it about price, is the minute you lose your brand. So I would actually I would be bold. I would make the commitment to that price on the, you know, have your idea of the price and maybe have two versions of that, have two ideas for the price. Okay, so based on what you've told me, I think level 1 will be the best thing for you, because that incorporates all of these things. And what you can do is you can work up to level 2, which is where you get all these other things you said that you want, but for the price that you want to pay, I think you're better off here. And then they might say to you, oh, but I want these things as well. Actually, I could afford to do that. Okay, great. Let's go with that one. Get their commitment there and then.
Okay, so you really think by the end of the call, I've spelt it out to them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I would, because so the thing is, when you're like, how many sales calls do you think they're going to give you the chance to have with them?
But they don't think this is a sales call. They think this is them supporting me in creating my program.
Well, they are, but there's a value to that. There's a value to that. And you know, and so you need to position the price. If you really want to you know, get some conversions, which you need, then I would be positioning that price, you know. So based on what I know is going to be in there, and based on the results that I've got from my clients in the past, here's what I was roughly thinking. Here's what I'm thinking it's going to be in future. Now, they might have told you their price already. So say they've said, I'd be willing to invest £200. You can then say, well, brilliant. Thank you for your honesty in what you'd be prepared to invest in that. I do actually have 2 levels of program, and based on what you've told me, if you're prepared to invest £200 in yourself, then I think that this is the level to go in at. But where I'd really like you to be is going in at this level, because at this level, I can support you with all of these other things that you've said that you want as well. Now, obviously, when people don't pay, they don't pay attention. And this is a really important thing. This is your life. I want you to pay attention to it. So moving money to one side for a moment, and if we achieve all those things that you want, would that have been worth more to you than that £200? Yes. Okay. Would you be willing to invest £400 in yourself to go through this process? Because this is going to be a £1,200 process. By the end of this process, this will be £1,200. Would you be willing to commit £400 to yourself to getting that result?
Okay. Like it. Thank you.
Again, like, you know, moving money to one side for a moment, get back to the vision. This is what you've told me. If money were no object and we could help you together to support you to achieve this, would that be worth more than £400 to you, for you to be living that life, for you to have that freedom? So when do you want to get started, and how do you want to pay?
Yes. Thank you, Sammy.
Okay, and remember, be prepared when they say, okay, I've got my card, how are you going to take it? Yeah, like how are you going to get paid for this?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that.
Well, have that thought before you get on those calls.
Yeah. Okay, I haven't got anything set up.
Could you take it by PayPal?
I probably could. Yeah.
Okay, so you can either get them to pay you by PayPal. So say, okay, great. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you my email address right now for my PayPal account, so that you can, just while we're on the phone, you can put that PayPal through, and I'll let you know that I've got it, and then the process will start immediately. So again, think about what are the first 3 things you're going to give them to do as soon as they've made that payment. Then what? And as long as you're 3 steps ahead, just be 3 steps ahead. As long as you're that far ahead, you're all good, because you can make the rest up.
3 steps ahead. Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Sammy.
So, and that might be, okay, so as soon as I take your payment, as soon as your payment comes through to my PayPal account, you're going to receive an email from me that gives you all the instructions on how to start, when we're going to start, and what to do. You'll receive a link to the Facebook group, which is where we're going to host everything, if you are.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a questionnaire to complete so that I can start building this process around you more collaboratively. That might be your first 3 steps, but just know how you're going to take that payment and what the first 3 steps are, because they'll probably say to you, well, like, where do we start? What happens first? What's the process? What's the journey? So at least know those 3 things.
Okay. Lots of work to do. Thank you so much, Sammy.
You're very welcome. And it's not a lot of work. You can make it a lot of work if you want to.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a lot of work.
I hear you. I've done those things.
You've done a lot of this already. So go back to what you already have. Don't create new.
No.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Well done. You're very welcome. Give yourself an hour to complete that. Give yourself an hour and you'll do it in an hour.
Yeah, I will. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.